Hi guys, just thought I'm lonely, so I thought I'd talk to you a lot while I do this. I'm gluing together what is going to be a custom slingshot, and it's going to be one of my designs called the Arias, which is a dedicated tube shooter. There's quite a few here that are aware of that, and quite a few that aren't. So what I've done is I've cut these blocks into the right size. I'll glue them together, and then when they're glued together I'll show you what we do next. And if you don't want to come along for the ride, then don't. That's actually bird's eye maple. Look at the grain in that. Oh, lovely. And then I think I want some green spaces. So I'll just go on there, make it a bit of a squash. Now I've made these are veneer, and I've made these slightly big because if you make them the exact size, what they tend to do is move around and you end up chasing them when you clamp it together. Because when you clamp it, everything just wants to move. It's a pain in the ass, for want of a better expression. And the core is going to be paper phenolic or paper micarta. Oh. And the reason why it has a paper micarta core is purely because of the fork tips. It needs that. It probably doesn't need it, but I'd rather it be there, and that gives it a much stronger spine. Especially when you see how milled out the actual catty ends up at the top for the tubes. So normally I use a plastic spatula, but I've got a bag of these giant lollipop sticks for the same price as the plastic spatulas, and there was like 4,000 or 5,000 times more. So we're giving these a try. And you know what? I think they're going to be just fine. And the glue that I'm using is a polyurethane glue. All you guys that swear by Gorilla Glue, this is basically the exact same stuff but made by Titebond, and I just personally prefer this. And anyway, I think this is much more cost effective. It's much cheaper than what Gorilla Glue is, and I'm convinced it's the same stuff. Well, it is. They're both polyurethane glues, but I prefer this definitely. Okay, now the tricky bit is getting all the three big parts to line up. And now it gets even more tricky because we've now got to start turning it into a giant sandwich. And there's no easy way to do this other than to make a jig. But if I was to make a jig, I would then have to cut all the pieces exactly the same size and get all the angles right, and well, I think personally that would just create more work. But I might still end up swearing yet, so I'll pre-warn you. I'm not being shy with this glue, and in hindsight I kind of wish I put some gloves on, but they're all the way in the garage. So oops, don't really have the time to mess about and go get them. Besides which, you'd get lonely, wouldn't you, if I left you on your own? Alright, so now the next veneer. I have about £150 worth of different wooden veneers. If anyone's interested, I'll go through them all with you. It's actually quite interesting if you like that sort of thing. Right, now the last layer is going to be American black walnut, and I chose this piece from a board because I want to try and get, if you imagine the shape of the slingshot there. I want to try and get this grain to follow it, at least that's the plan. I'll have probably forgotten about that by tomorrow. All these surfaces have been cut on a bandsaw, then machine sanded to take the big ridges out, and then hand sanded on a lapping plate with pencil drawn on them to basically ensure that everything is completely flat. Now sometimes with the polyurethanes you're meant to actually add water, and if I was gluing something like G10 or carbon fibre I would mist one side, but because wood has a permanent moisture content anyway, I found that I've not needed to, and touch wood, coincidentally, I've never had anything fail yet, other than when I've been using substandard glues. Now, the question is, which way did I want the top to be? I think it's this way. Right, now this is the bit where you start swearing and you get covered in glue. Right. That's where we make a mess. Oh, I really should have put gloves on. Bollocks. Now all the pieces are going to try and go everywhere. So what I have to do, I apologise if I go off camera, but it's tough. What I have to do is I have to kind of lightly clamp everything, slide it all around, without getting it on the worktops, because this stuff is super sticky. Right, now where's my third big clamp? See? Not prepared. Although I didn't have to go too far. I have a set place where I like to put all my clamps. I like to have two of these big clamps where the fork tips are going to be, another of the big clamps at the bottom where the finger hole, or the pinky hole will be. Now I need to slide the sandwich. Can you see? You can't see, can you? There we go. Yep, next time I do a video, my hands and skin is going to be black. So those people that have this weird thing about having to have clean hands while on YouTube, gutted. Right, so up and down we're looking pretty good. The piece of paper micarta in the middle is slightly smaller, so that's wanting to move around a bit. Make sure I've got overlap on all the veneer. Carefully try and clamp it all up, and see, there she goes, starting to move again. Because obviously if it doesn't all dry together, you end up with serious problems, because then your piece is not big enough to fit your template. And then, for want of a better expression, you get the idea. So far so good, none on the worktops, although we're getting mighty close. Can you see how this is starting to expand with the moisture? Doesn't take long. Right, so now I'm going to reinforce the clamping and try and squeeze out some of the excess in the middle, because otherwise you end up with a big glue line. Mind you, the good thing about this stuff is it dries rock hard and you can peel it off, scrape it off. The less that's on there, the better. Right, we're looking pretty good at that. We're looking pretty good. So just back that off, clamp that lower down, take that off a bit. That's there and there. A little baby G there. Right, now there you go. I'm going to put small clamps on it and go from there.